Welcome to the Eurovision Kiki podcast. We're three Americans who have fallen in love with Eurovision. You've got Doug, Katie, and Steven here, and we're here to bring you the best information about the Eurovision Song Contest. We'll bring you the music, history, traditions, as well as all the tea currently surrounding the world of Eurovision. So buckle up and welcome to this week's episode.
And it is that time of the week again, folks. We are here for a Kiki, and this time we are going to give some predictions of what we think may happen and what we want to happen for semifinal 2. So, Katie, Steven, thank you for being here.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Look at this group of 3 people who managed to survive the week.
Barely. But here we are.
But it means that we are one more week closer, though, to 2025 Eurovision Song Contest. So,
oh my gosh, it just feels like the slow crawl now that we know the songs. Everybody's doing their social media tours and the pre-parties, and it's just every week that goes by, you're like, come on, let's get to it.
I'm ready. So, for folks who have lived under a rock or have absolutely no idea what's happening during the second semifinal, let's take a look at the 16 artists that are competing for 10 spots. In running order, we have Australia, Montenegro, Ireland, Latvia, Armenia, Austria, Greece, Lithuania, Malta, Georgia, Denmark, Czechia, Luxembourg, Israel, Serbia, and Finland. In addition to that, we have 3 interval acts from the Big Five that include the United Kingdom, France, and Germany.
Yeah. Anyway, I think this is going to be a great show.
That's the event. We're done.
And have a good day, everybody.
I think this is a harder semifinal for me to think through, and looking at some of the odds that I'm seeing versus what I want to have happen. This is a much bigger disconnect, I think, than semifinal 1. So, there are a lot of favorite songs of mine that are not favorited to qualify, and that is really sad. But also looking at some of the odds, for semifinal 1, it was kind of like the top 10, maybe 11, and then it dropped way off in the chances. And this is much more of a steady decline. There's much less difference in odds between each of the countries. So I think it's going to be really interesting.
I feel like every year, there's always a semifinal that has a batch of stronger songs in one than the other. And we always see songs that you're like, that should not be in the grand final, and this one should be in replace of that. But because of the way that songs were selected, we get this one. Anyway.
I think this semifinal is going to be the one where we go, oh, they were robbed.
Yeah.
I look at this, and I think that there is a group of 8 songs who are vying for the bottom 6 spots. Yeah. In the last semifinal, I looked at it and I said, if this happens, I can live with it.
Yeah.
Whereas in this semifinal, there's a few that if this happens, I don't know that I am comfortable with this outcome.
There's 2 of my favorite songs being Like a Party and Hallucination that right now in the odds are 11 and 12. And that would be devastating, especially Hallucination. Would be so sad for me to have it not make. I think they're my potential Poland this year.
That Seesaw Denmark as a whole is my underdog. I, in the grand scheme of things, would love to see them just come out of nowhere and dare I say, potentially win. I don't know why. I love the song so much. I can't help but play this song on repeat.
Oh my God, it's so
every day, every week. the song just hypes me up and continues to grow in my own personal love and popularity for it. I love the social media presence that she is
She's so
building.
funny. Yeah.
She's hilarious. She plays well and nicely with all of the other artists, and it's just great to see her doing her thing. And it's just one of those things. It's like Denmark's been so underrated for the past several years that I just kind of want to see them do well this year.
Yeah,
And
it feels like
yeah,
they've been 11th place for like 4 or 5 years. 11th
yeah,
place in the semifinal. Like it
What
feels
are
like they've just been like
yeah?
not
What
being
are
able to
we
pull it off.
missing? Like,
yeah.
what are we as a Kiki missing that Denmark is so low? Because
Well,
there's
we don't understand European music.
That's number one.
fair. That's number one. I just don't of all the songs that are in the odds bottom six. Of the songs in the odds bottom six, this makes the least sense to me for Denmark. I think you can make a case why some of the others are in there. We've heard differing opinions, but I honestly haven't seen a whole lot of negative opinions about Hallucination to begin with. So why
Yeah.
is this so low?
What we have to understand, though, is that a lot of people have such I'm not going to say negative perception, but their perceptions do stem from her performance from the national finals. And we're all very much aware that she knows that it wasn't super strong.
Yeah.
And there is the revamp that's coming. I think that revamp is going to drastically impact whether she can break that 12th, 11th place mark and make it through the top 10, or it's going to break it.
I think she is more than anybody. Her performance is going to matter. Like I think there's a lot of these countries that we know what to expect. I think here, let's get the top 3 out of the way. The shoe-ins are going to be Finland, Israel, and Austria. We know they're making it through. They're solid songs. People love them. Like they have support. They're going. Like so I mean, I don't feel like we have to belabor those points, but and then there's other countries where it's like I think we know kind of where-ish they stand. They're not coming in with the baggage from their national final for a lot of them. But I think Denmark is really in that spot where she can change her destiny by performing well.
Yeah,
for sure.
The potential is there.
Now, Katie, if we're just looking at the odds, we know that Ireland and Denmark are outside of finals contention. If this holds true, and somebody came up to you and said, you're allowed to pick one of those two to advance, is it Ireland or is it Denmark?
That's so mean.
That's so mean, but I think I would say Denmark. Here's my dream finalists. Finland, Israel, Austria, Czechia, Malta, Greece, Luxembourg, Ireland, Denmark, Latvia. That's my 10 that I would like.
So you're kicking out Serbia, Australia, and Lithuania from the odds.
Yes. That's what I would.
I can work with that.
That's what I would like to see because, like, I'm shocked that Lithuania right now in the odds is tied for like the 4th through 6th spot. Like they're tied for
surprisingly higher than I expected.
Very high, very high. I don't get that song. I was telling Doug and Steven earlier this week, this is my like time of the Eurovision season where I don't just listen to my favorites and I force myself to listen through the entire songs, but I'm not an emotional terrorist, so I don't listen to all of Slovenia. But I've listened through and like not skipped any of the songs, and I just can't with the Lithuania and Australia. Every time I listen to Milkshake Man, it creeps me out more, and it gets like Gojo would not be allowed at my house because I live too close to an elementary school. Like, that's
I don't
like
even
the
know what
vibe
to
that
do
I'm
with
getting.
that. I don't
Yeah.
even know what to do with that.
His persona gives off a vibe, I believe is what Katie is letting us know. And
It's giving off.
yes.
Whereas, like, I would be okay being left alone in a house with Gojo. I don't know if Roger would be comfortable leaving me
Right.
alone in a house with Gojo, but that is neither
You're
here
not
nor
as
there.
you're not as off put by his sexual predator energy as I am.
I'm sure he is a fantastic, lovely individual.
I'm sure. And like I really liked he and oh gosh, I'm forgetting who it was. I think it was him
Zoe?
and yeah,
You're
him
talking
and
about the video?
Zoe
Yeah.
like made some social media together and like they seem really sweet. The song is just a little creepy. It's guy who talks too close to you at the bar. Like gets too close to your face when he's hitting on you. That's the energy I'm getting out of it.
Let's rewind for like 2 seconds. Was Latvia in that top 10 of yours?
It was.
Let's talk about how you have somehow just joined the cult out of nowhere, because
It was when they were doing it, when they were hitting everybody for fertility and wealth that with sticks, that I was like, okay, I'm in. It's so good.
Welcome, blonde Jane.
And Seesaw is like, okay, that's enough fertility, and runs away, and it made me really love them all.
Yeah, yeah, we're hitting folks for fertility. Do they necessarily want that?
Because they want everybody pregnant by the time Eurovision hits, so that
and
they
I have
a...
to say, watching them like get to know the other artists and then beautifully sing everybody else's songs, like them singing Like a Party to Emmy, it was like she was like blown away by it. It was so sweet. So they've been like, they really do seem like.
So it's less the song you like and more of them as individuals.
It helps me like the song more because I like them.
I would listen to some of their other music. I do not enjoy their Eurovision entry, but I believe them as vocalists do it well.
Because you just don't like that there's 10 words in the whole song.
10 words. I mean, I get that it's a chant, right? Like, that's the point. But you're not doing a whole lot.
They were the ones that I was like, this is a wild card. I don't get it. Like, back during Supernova, and I was like, I'll be shocked if they make it. But I was like, from the beginning, I was very skeptical about them, but I was like, I can't quit them. And here we are. I still love it. I'm sad that their odds are so low, but they're one of the ones that I would love to see advance to the top 10, just because, again, I think it's a song that we need in this day and age, just to keep people chanting happiness, which is exactly what the song is. I've gotten mine narrowed down to at least 4 that I'm like, they should not qualify. And like Lithuania is one of them, but again, we don't know European music apparently, and like they're in that like top 4 mix there. Serbia, Georgia, and I'm sad to say this, but again, people are just not getting behind her, but Montenegro and Nina Gigi is just in that mix. And that's the rest of them is where I'm like, I have a handful that are on the bubble, but I'm also with you where the no-brainers for me are Finland, Austria, and Israel. And that's about as far as my head has been able to make it.
I want to think that Malta's a no-brainer.
I would love for Malta to make it.
She's high in the odds. Like, I think she's got like almost an 80% chance of making it in, which is great. God, I just love that song. I love that song so much. So I really hope that she's kind of in that like safe category. But yeah, I'm curious also to see how it goes when the song is now serving.
Mm-hmm. The people.
not
We've
pumped.
seen the crowd put in the extra
Mhm.
lyric there.
A little
So
sauce on it.
Yep.
Yeah, the crowd loves to sing about singing.
Yes.
that they do.
We love to help her get
I
vocals.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're all right that the top three are on lock, and this is
Yeah.
why semi two I think is harder to predict because the top three are on lock, and then after that it could be anybody's game.
Yeah.
And I truly think that just because Czechia, Lithuania, and Malta are tied in the odds at the near top, that doesn't make them safe.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I think basically we have, Finland, Israel, Austria on one side is safe. And I hate to say it, but we have Georgia and Montenegro as pretty definite DNQs.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
pretty clear. And that does make me sad because, again, in my re-listen, no skips, Dobro Došli is so beautiful. Like, it's a great song. Her vocals are incredible. And yeah, Freedom is beautiful and her vocals are also beautiful, but just doesn't grab you in the way that I think Israel and Greece, as far as women-led solo artist ballads go, I think Israel and Greece are just so much stronger.
Top notch.
I think Greece is one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard in Eurovision. And when you look up that English translation, it is so beautiful. I love that song. That's another one that, my steering wheel is sick of that song because I scream it.
Where do people lie with Luxembourg? Because that was one that we rallied around a while back. We followed their national song contest. La Poupée Monte le Son was one that has been enjoyable. I still enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
But they're kind of just floating in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
If we are saying that these odds are based on their national finals performances, then I would expect them to qualify and only do better.
Mm-hmm.
Because I still like the original, but I do believe that the revamp has completely elevated it and given us more of her vocal range. They sped it up a little bit. So if the odds are any indication, I think she's fine. But
and I think that something we said in the Luxembourg national finals was now that she's got the whole budget behind her, I think that they can really elevate the performance and have, her styling look better and a little bit more polished and have the, dancing and the choreography be more polished and a little tighter. And I think that it just feels like they're tuning the song and they're not making any major revamps. They're not taking away the diva like Esa Diva did.
Truths are truths.
Don't even get me started. Yeah. But they are all the subtle minor changes are only pushing it further into a stronger song. And I think that maybe it's Laura and the Seesaw who have the performance of their life, and then they qualify easy. I think both of those songs are good enough and strong enough that if their performance is good enough, that they will make it.
Yeah.
I think I think Le Poupée Monte le Son doesn't have quite as much it doesn't have as much fervor around it. But like we were saying, I feel like outside of the top three, none of the songs really do have that crazy, fan. Well, maybe Kant does, but but I feel like there's not a frenzy around as many of these songs as there were on semifinal one. So I think it will be interesting.
A lot of them are great songs. A lot of them safe.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
And that's the hard part. when you have such a safe batch of songs, it's hard to differentiate which ones are going to step it up enough to actually break that top 10.
Yeah.
Well,
And I did see Greece say that they were kind of restaging from the national final round. And so they're going to do something a little bit different. And so I'm excited to see that. And I think that hopefully those changes are enough to keep them in, because like I said, that's one of my favorite Eurovision ballads.
To just belt it out.
I think I'm with you, though, Katie, overall in terms of the 6 that I would like to see outside of the top 10. So if I had to make cuts, Lithuania, Australia, Serbia, Armenia, Montenegro, Georgia. So, Katie, we're actually in alignment.
I think we have the same,
the
same top 10.
Yes! I do expect to be disappointed. There seems to be a lot of rumblings as of recently with Serbia and Mila. I guess I could see it squeaking into the top 10. So that's the one that I'm worried that it will surprise us by qualifying and thus eliminating one of our favorites.
Yeah.
Does Serbia have enough? I mean, I guess looking at the lineup, Serbia could have enough allies in this batch to be handing out some 8s, 10s, and 12s.
Yeah, because they're going to have Montenegro, probably. Like, you imagine, like, the Balkans kind of sticking together to some extent. And so, yeah, they've got maybe also
Armenia?
Czechia, and maybe, they've got a few places in Armenia, possibly, and possibly Georgia as well.
Okay.
But that's the hard part, is like, oh my gosh, is Serbia going to qualify and then Latvia is the odd man out? Like, who's to say?
All right, come on, girls. Cast your spells.
Make it happen.
Health and fertility for everyone.
Do your incantations.
Yes.
Start hitting other people with sticks so that you qualify.
Yes. Make this happen.
Yeah.
Oh, this one's going to be a hard one.
This is going to be the heartbreaker semi.
Yep. The more we've been talking about it, the more I'm like really nervous for semifinal 2. This is going to be the one that like semifinal 1 last year was, where like we all FaceTimed immediately after and we're like, no.
I just don't want to have to cry that Denmark didn't advance. Like that's all I'm asking.
Yeah. Maybe it is fitting that the UK is part of the interval act, because we may be on FaceTime asking ourselves what the hell just happened. Oh my goodness. Final thoughts on this batch of second semifinal countries and artists.
I'm going to say I think we should split up our miscongenialities between the 2 semifinals, because I think Kai is a miscongeniality and I think Seesaw is a miscongeniality. I think they're both doing a lot to earn a lot of goodwill among the other artists, and it's just so nice always. I love this part of the year when you can see at the pre-shows the artists getting together and actually doing the United by Music thing. And so that's really fun to see. And this one's going to have me nervous, but I'm excited.
I can absolutely get behind that to our 2 miscongenialities. Doug, your thoughts?
Final thoughts. Ireland is not getting enough love. I believe it was a song that almost feels like it was directly written for the Euro Club, so that at the end of the evening, everybody can just go and have a good time and not take themselves too seriously. She's enjoying her moment, and will she qualify? Who's to say? But damn it if I love that song.
I know, right?
So I'd love to see that one qualify. but it's going to be this is the tough one.
Tough,
this is the final two. This is the semi-final to watch if you had to choose between the two.
Yeah.
Final thoughts for me. I think we've said this many a times, but staging is going to matter. If you want to break that top 10 and you're somewhere floating around in the middle, this is the time to make it shine. And I'm right there with everybody that I will be very sad if there are some artists and countries here that do not make it to the grand final, because I want to see that grand final be one that is one to remember and one to rage out to and have the time of our lives with. So step it up, everybody. Make it a fantastic show and do your absolute best.
Yes. Good luck, everyone.
Yes. So, Doug, do we have any special announcements or anything that we want to share with the folks to look forward to in the coming weeks? Special guests or anybody? Or?
We're working on some things. We've got some feelers out there. See if we can bring in a guest before Eurovision kicks off on May 13th.
That's so influencer of you. Like, you guys, I'm working on something super exciting. I can't give you any more details right now, but just know I'm doing something major.
Stay tuned for more. No, everybody's been asking, and I'm here to tell you, no one's been asking.
Nobody's been asking. But that's okay. We still love doing this. We love all of our listeners. We love all of our followers. We love it all. So thank you for tuning in again this week. Be sure to join us again next week when we'll talk about something. Maybe smash or pass. I don't know.
Is there Schlagen or Passieren?
Your Schlagen or Passieren. And if you don't know what that is, you're just going to have to tune in and find out. But in the meantime, let us know what you think about semifinal 2. Who are your top 10s and who are you thinking need to step their game up? Let us know in the comments down below. You can also like this episode if you're listening on YouTube or Spotify. Also feel free to follow us and give us a subscription on either or both of those channels. You can also do the same. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Eurovision Kiki. If you got questions, leave those in the comments down below as well, or leave them at our email account at eurovisionkiki@gmail.com. Otherwise, that'll do it for this episode, and we will see you all at our next Kiki.
Bye.
Bye.